No, what are you doing up there? No, don't. Honey. Good. Rubio and Musk. Base. Inside the explosive meeting where Trump officials clashed with Elon Musk. Simmering anger at the billionaire's unchecked power spilled out in a remarkable cabinet room meeting. The president quickly moved to rein in Mr. Musk. Uh-oh. Sorry. New York Times story. Marco Rubio was incensed. Here he was in the cabinet room of the White House, the Secretary of State, seated beside the president and listening to a litany of attacks from the richest man in the world. Seated diagonally opposite across the elliptical mahogany table, Elon Musk was letting Mr. Rubio have it, accusing him of failing to slash his staff. You have fired nobody, Mr. Musk told Mr. Rubio, then scornfully added that perhaps the only person he had fired was a staff member from Mr. Musk's own Department of Government Efficiency, aka DOGE. Mr. Rubio had been privately furious with Mr. Musk for weeks, ever since his team effectively shuttered an entire agency that was supposedly under Mr. Rubio's control, the United States Agency for International Development. True. But in the extraordinary cabinet meeting in front of President Trump and around 20 others, details of which have not been reported before, Mr. Rubio got his grievances off his chest. How long? Oh, maybe they'll say when this happened. Mr. Musk was not being truthful, Mr. Rubio said. What about the more than 1,500 State Department officials who took early retirement and buyouts? Didn't they count as layoffs? He asked sarcastically whether Mr. Musk wanted him to rehire all those people just so that he could make a show of firing them again. Then he laid out his detailed plan to reorganizing the State Department. Mr. Musk was unimpressed. He told Mr. Rubio he was good on TV, with the clear subtext being that he was not good for much else. Throughout all of this, the president sat back in his chair, arms folded, as if he were watching a tennis match. After the argument dragged on for an uncomfortable time, Mr. Trump finally intervened to defend Mr. Rubio, who was doing a great job. Mr. Rubio has a lot to deal with, the president said. He's very busy. He's always traveling and on TV, and he has an agency to run, so everybody just needs to work together. The meeting was a potential turning point after the frenetic first weeks of Mr. Trump's second term. It yielded the first significant indication that Mr. Trump was willing to put some limits on Mr. Musk, whose efforts had become the subject of several lawsuits and prompted concerns from Republican lawmakers, some of whom have complained directly to the president. By the way, this was always the case. Musk is not running the government against Donald Trump so much as Donald Trump will allow Musk to do anything only insofar as the public opinion is on the side of that. If the MAGA opinion were to turn against it, or if it were to become unpopular for whatever reason, Trump would ditch Elon Musk in a microsecond. Cabinet officials almost uniformly like the concept of what Mr. Musk set out to do, reducing waste, fraud, and abuse in government, but have been frustrated by the by the chainsaw approach to upending the government and the lack of consistent coordination. Thursday's meeting, which was abruptly scheduled on Wednesday evening, was a sign that Mr. Trump was mindful of the growing complaints. He tried to offer each side something by praising both Mr. Musk and his cabinet secretaries. At least one, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who has had tense encounters related to Mr. Musk's team, was not present. RIP. The president made clear that he still supported the mission of the Musk initiative, but now was the time, he said, to be a bit more refined in its approach. From now on, he said, the secretaries would be in charge. The Musk team would only advise. This was a few days ago, because Trump made this announcement 3 days ago, I think. But they said it was on Wednesday. So this meeting was like on the 5th? Is that what they're referring to? It must be, huh? And they made that announcement later that day, I think. The richest man in the world, with no way of running for president himself, is a pretty important eunuch. I think it would take a lot for Trump to ditch him. Oh, no. You're thinking like Game of Thrones, bro. You need to step back and think like Checker. No, you need to think like running for class president, okay? Trump has Musk around because Musk is super popular, has Twitter, everybody loved him in MAGA. If that opinion slides, Musk is gone. Like, when they describe this meeting of Trump sitting here listening to these two people shout at each other, it actually reminds me a lot of the meeting in the White House on the 3rd of January when all those guys showed up and Jeffrey Clark was making arguments for why he should be the new attorney general because Trump wanted to kill his Department of Justice basically to bring in Jeffrey Clark. And Trump was sitting there and watching that unfold as well. I feel like Trump, what he does is he sits and he watches and he sees like, who does he think is going to come out on top? And then he sides with that person. That's what it feels like. That's what this meeting felt like. Really, I mean, in the few lines that they write about it, but. It's the exact same analysis that we would have of Hassan. When Hassan would defend somebody who did something kind of weird, the first thing you do is you check the viewer count. It's like, oh, it's a popular streamer. I get it. Okay, right? It's the same thing. It's unclear what the long-term impact of the meeting will be. Mr. Musk remains Mr. Trump's biggest political financial supporter. Just this week, his super PAC aired $1 million worth of ads that said, "Thank you, President Trump." And Mr. Musk's control of the social media website X has made administration staff members and cabinet secretaries alike fearful that he will target them in public. God, this fucking disgusting subhuman piece of shit. I feel like I hate him more than anyone else. But if nothing else, the session laid bare the tensions within Mr. Trump's team, and news of the sharp clashes spread quickly through senior ranks of cabinet agencies after it was over. This account is based on interviews with 5 people with knowledge of the events. In a post on social media after the meeting, Mr. Trump said the next phase of his plan to cut the federal workforce would be conducted with a scalpel rather than a hatchet, a clear reference to Mr. Musk's scorched earth approach. Musk, who wore a suit and tie to Thursday's meeting instead of his usual t-shirt after Mr. Trump publicly ribbed him about his sloppy appearance, defended himself by saying that he had 3 companies with a market cap of tens of billions of dollars, and that his results spoke for themselves. But he was soon clashing with members of the cabinet. Just moments before the blow-up with Mr. Rubio, Musk and the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, went back and forth about the state of the Federal Aviation Administration's equipment for tracking airplanes and what kind of fix was needed. Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, jumped in to support Musk. Mr. Duffy said the young staff of Musk's team was trying to lay off air traffic controllers. "What am I supposed to do?" Mr. Duffy said. "I have multiple plane crashes to deal with, and your people want me to fire air traffic controllers?" Musk told Duffy that his assertion was a lie. Mr. Duffy insisted it was not. He had heard it from them directly. Musk, asking who had been fired, said, "Give me their names. Tell me their names." Duffy said there were not any names because he had stopped them from being fired. At another point, Musk insisted that people hired under diversity, equity, and inclusion programs were working in control towers. Duffy pushed back, and Musk did not add any details because he's a fucking retard, but said during the longer back and forth that Mr. Duffy had his phone number and should call him if he had any issues to raise. The exchange ended with Trump telling Mr. Duffy that he had to hire people from MIT as air traffic controllers. "These air traffic controllers need to be geniuses," he said. The Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins, had been dealing with one of the most politically sensitive challenges of all the cabinet secretaries. Musk's cuts will affect thousands of veterans, a powerful constituency and a core part of the Trump base. Mr. Collins made the point that they should not wield a blunt instrument and cleave off everyone from the VA. They needed to be strategic about it. Trump agreed with Collins, saying they ought to retain the smart ones and get rid of the bad ones. Easy. In response to a request for comment from the New York Times, Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, said in a statement, Tammy Bruce, a spokeswoman for the State Department, responded, "Secretary Rubio considered the meeting an open and productive discussion with a dynamic team that is united in achieving the same goal, making America great again." A Department of Veterans Affairs spokesman said, as President Trump has said, it's important to increase efficiency and reduce bureaucracy while keeping in place the best and most productive federal employees. VA is working with DOGE and the rest of the administration to do just that. A Transportation Department official would not comment. Mr. Musk, who later claimed on X that the cabinet meeting was very productive, seemed far less enthused inside the room. He aggressively defended himself, reminding the cabinet secretaries that he had hundreds of Twitter accounts with millions of followers, and he knew something about hiring good people. Most cabinet members did not join the fray. Elon Musk's anger, directed at Marco Rubio in particular, seemed to catch people in the room by surprise. One person with knowledge of the meeting said, another person said, Mr. Musk's autistic responses to Mr. Duffy and Mr. Rubio seemed to deter other cabinet members, many of whom have privately complained about how much of a fucking retard Elon Musk is. But it remains to be seen how long this new arrangement will last. Wow. Apparently, Tom Bilyeu reacted to us. What is this?
In regards to the pause on military...
Was this today? Did he do another one today? Bro, I'm serious. This motherfucker screams more than me.
In regards to the pause on military assistance to Ukraine, you put out on your social media post today that Russia...
Gun to your head. Do you think Elon is still associated with the White House in 1 year? No, I don't think so.
You put out on your social media post today that Russia is pounding Ukraine.
That's right.
Why not provide Ukraine with air defenses? And what happens, Mr. President, when Ukraine runs out of the Patriot missile batteries?
Good question. Because I have to know that they want to settle. I don't know that they want to settle. If they don't want to settle, we're out of there. Because we want them to settle. And I'm doing it to stop death. More important than anything else. Secondarily, way down the line is the money. So we're in for $350 billion, and Europe is in for $100 billion. They should be in for the same or more than us.
True. Last I heard, the U.S. gave $500 billion.
And, you know, I watched over the last week or so what's going on in Europe. This thing could end up in World War III if we don't get it settled. This could really end up in a World War III. We got to get it settled.
In regards to the pause...
Oh, no. Honest to
I went
God, your scariest thing might be Iran. If Trump is retarded enough to listen to everybody around him, I could totally see BB telling Trump, listen, we got to nuke Iran, bro. We got to get him out of here. They're going to have nukes. They're going to blow us up. We got to nuke them, dude. Israel would love that. That would be... Get my jacket on. What? Say it to my face, bitch. Hi.
Hi. Hi, baby.
Oh, look. Oh, look at this. Look at this big baby. Whoa. What? Ugh. Did he change the tone on the amount of money the U.S. has given? Here he said, we are in for $350 billion. Hasn't he said prior that they have given the amount already? Well, that's what it means. We're in for this, is like how much you've already given. The fuck is this?
Taking effective fire!
Battlefield 2025. Is this like a new game coming out, or? Fucking controller players. Console slap.
Taking fire!
Dumbass.
We can go straight to the Oval Office.
Oval Office. Oval. Yeah, what did that have to do with the political and economic state of the world right now, man? Trade all. What? It's going to be one of the micronations. I don't even know. They do cars, so the Caribbean maybe? Nope. I don't even know what those things are called. Oh, no. Total exports is only $397 million. No, is this the country now? Fuck, what's the name of that, the B? Is it Bhutan? What's northeast of Bhutan? I don't fucking know, bro. Does like North Korea like not export anything? Did they not trade with people maybe? Oh, okay. All right. Let's LFG. Let's fucking go. Oh no, wait, is this real? Wait, hold on. Uh-oh. based on the fact that Russia is absolutely pounding Ukraine on the battlefield right now, I am strongly considering large-scale banking sanctions, and tariffs on Russia. This is, I should say the same thing 3 times. Until a ceasefire and final settlement agreement on peace is reached to Russia and Ukraine. Get to the table right now before it's too late. Thank you. Holy shit, the master negotiator at it once again. All those meetings just to truth it out. There should be like 1 million people retweeting every single thing Donald Trump says, and it just needs to be it needs to be like a Donald Trump AI face shop on this, and then it just says the art of the deal in all caps, just on every single thing Trump does. That's just what it should be. Has somebody made this yet? Art of the deal. Fuck. That should just be a thing for every fucking retarded thing that Trump does. You know what? I bet he's ultra fucking ass pained. No, that's such a... I don't even know. It's hard to even make assumptions. I wonder if Trump legitimately thought that Putin was like, oh yeah, I got him, dude. I totally got this. And then they stopped shipping arms to Ukraine, and Russia's like, oh, well, we're just gonna go fucking rape Ukraine now. And Trump's like, what? What? Putin told me he wanted peace. What? Did he lie to me? Trump addresses in the press combo? All right, we'll get there. All right.
I went on.
Friend of the stream, Matt Dearden. Okay, let's check the top 3 comments first, just so we know how we should feel about this video. Destiny's ever been an honest actor in the realm of political debate. Any long-form debate, such conversation, he is always exposed. He wants clips and Sorry, hold on. This doesn't make sense to read this like this. Okay. Destiny has never been an honest actor in the realm of political debate. Any long-form debate / conversation, he is always exposed. He wants clips and blurbs and will bait people for these. You shouldn't give Destiny any attention at all. He is, in general, a horrible person. I know we don't agree on every single thing, but you are miles above Destiny's level. Miles in outer space. Okay, thank you. All right. Let's go.
I went on Destiny's stream the other day, and it was a good conversation. I appreciated Destiny having me on, so thank you, Destiny, for that. We talked for about 90 minutes, and we covered a pretty wide range of subjects. When we scheduled it like 45 minutes before the stream started, so it's not like we had all this time to prepare or anything. And I said I didn't want it to be a debate. I wanted it to be more of like a conversation about some ideological issues and policy issues. But I feel like it became a pro and against Trump thing, which I get. I mean, that's kind of Destiny's space, and that's what a lot of his conversations revolve around, right?
Well, but also it's, we're talking policy. There is no policy to really speak of for Trump, right? What else are we going to be talking about? It's just executive orders and shit, right? I don't know. Maybe.
Now, I tried to talk a little tax policy. I didn't feel like Destiny was all that interested. I tried to talk Social Security reform.
We tried to talk tax policy. What did we talk much tax policy? I have no problem talking tax policy. I like tax policy. I think did he say he didn't like a progressive taxation system? He wanted a use tax on everything? Or was that somebody in chat earlier? No, never mind. The corporate taxes lowering? Oh, I'm not a fan of corporate taxes. There's not much to talk about there. I think we disagree on that. I think corporate taxes are stupid. The Kamala unrealized cap gains came up. Yeah, but that's stupid too. But I don't think she would have done that. But
deficit spending. We talked a little bit about the roots of progressivism and conservatism, but overall, I just don't think he was too interested in those topics, and maybe that's just not his thing. But needless to say, he didn't take the bait. But we did get into a lot of interest.
What? Why not just? Okay, I don't know. Maybe I don't remember. Why are corporate taxes stupid? Because it's tax income. I don't know. Why would you? It's just I don't understand the purpose of corporate taxes. It seems retarded. Just tax people's income when it hits a bank account.
Things over 90 minutes. There are some clips floating around about our conversation, and they're pretty charitable to Destiny. Like there's one where he asks me why I didn't vote for Kamala, and the clip breaks it up so it looks like I have like 3 words of a response. And in reality, I talked about DEI, affirmative action, and then I talked about Kamala's tax policy, which like
He brought up DEI and affirmative action. A longer clip on that, though, would have shown that when he brought up affirmative action, I brought up that it got shut down under Biden, and they didn't try to bring it back. So I don't know how that helps him. DEI and affirmative action. And then wait, what was the last thing he said?
Action, and then I talked about Kamala's tax policy.
We didn't really get much into Kamala's tax policy because I think we both agreed that unrealized cap gains taxes would be dumb and it wouldn't, but it probably wouldn't go anywhere.
Which, like I said before, I don't think Destiny was too interested in discussing in any depth, but it is what it is. That's what you're going to get, and his followers are notoriously interesting, let's just say, in the messages and DMs. I mean, look, I just think Kamala was a terrible candidate. I think she bowed to many interests that themselves are antithetical to.
I don't like these general vague statements. I don't know if I don't want to be mean. I'm trying so hard not 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 to be mean. He said this guy's a professor, right? Like, essay. Write 5 reasons why in the book Omega Lulls for Paradise John was a selfish character. I feel like this would be an essay that I'd be given in school, okay? And I feel like if I hadn't read the book, there's an answer that I would give here to bullshit my way to like a D or a C on this test. And I feel like this is the standard answer for conservatives, okay? The answer would be, in Omega Lulls for Paradise, John is clearly one of the most selfish characters written about in the entire book. He exhibits many times throughout the story unbelievably selfish behavior. It's very clear that the author himself sees that John is one of the that the author himself has tried to exemplify selfishness through his portrayal of John and how he treats all of those around him. There are many different ways that John, throughout the story, treats those around him. And everyone who interacts with John immediately perceives his selfishness. This is the type of bullshit ass essay answer you give, and then the teacher gives you like half credit on it, or maybe more, depending how much of a sucker your teacher is. And then they call you up and they're like, Steven, you need to talk more about this. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, well, and then they're like, when you say he exhibits many times throughout the story unbelievably selfish behavior, you need to talk about the behavior. And then I would go, oh, I didn't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was my bad. And then they'll be like, so I know you know, Steven. I know you know what you're talking about, because you're saying like it's clear that the author himself has tried to exemplify selfishness through his portrayal, but you need to talk about like examples in the book. And I'd be like, oh, I thought you just wanted me to say like that. And then you act like a fucking reader. This is every single fucking answer I get about anything having to do with politics now. All of it.
interests that themselves are antithetical to interests. Terrible candidate. I think she bowed to many interests.
Wait, but maybe I just wasted this whole time because maybe he's about to give examples of the particular interests and the particular beliefs they have that are antithetical to American beliefs. Maybe he will. Hold on, sorry.
That themselves are antithetical to America being a great nation and remaining a great nation. I don't think she understood her tax policy at all, and a lot of the
Okay, no, he won't. Okay. Like, just who are these interests? What's your evidence that she's beholden to them? How are their interests and the policy demands that they're making of Kamala antithetical to the United States? And would she have followed through on those? Would it have been likely? Like, that would be a fleshed out answer, right? That would be an answer of substance. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't tell. I was really good in English classes. I got so much credit in school for writing. But I can't tell sometimes that I feel like in the ordinary political population that if I were to give an essay answer like this, I feel like right now 50% of people would think this is a good answer. This is a decent answer without realizing this is a dog shit answer. If a student came up to me, a disheveled, unwashed, retarded, one eye hanging out of his eye, if he were to walk up to me and he were to go, and then, like, this is one student's answer, and he would have turned in a piece of paper and he would go, John killed Jane dog because too expensive. John steals from parents. John took money from homeless jar. John would always steal food from brother's plate. And John lies on his taxes, right? This answer down here has infinitely more substance to it than this answer up here. I don't know how many people can perceive that, though. I can't tell, right? Like, this answer here is, like, when we listened to Charlie Kirk talk last night, this is what I mean when I say this is information density. This is conveying what are 5 reasons why in the book Omega Loves for Paradise, John was a selfish character. Boom! We have 5 concrete reasons right here. Oh, okay, that's it. That's tons of information that you know the answer to the prompt. That's good, right? Now, obviously it's written poorly, and, you know, ideally they would have, you know, better writing or whatever. But, like, this answer is nothing. This answer is worse than nothing. This is like a malicious answer. Like, you know what you're doing. You must know that you're just spewing bullshit to try to get some kind of score on this paper, right? Yeah, I don't know how to. But I feel like people love this shit, and there's just no respect for this stuff. It just drives me crazy. I don't know. Oh no. Oh, sorry. We'll get on that later. No, we're on. Hold on. There's always time to bash Hassan. Remember, love me or hate me. I bring the views wherever the fuck I go, okay? Hassan has spent way too much time in his own little internet bubble. He hasn't broken out to be able to do that yet. Why can't I make this there? Apparently he's tweeting out, we can't let Candace beat me on this. Like, she stole anti-Semite of the year from me. Go show the vid. He's like desperately trying to pump the gas views up on this fucking video. Candace Owens does the rounds, though. She has super broad appeal. He's never, ever beating the viewership on this. Why would he think that? Oh, man. And he did it on his Instagram thing, too. Oh, no. Obviously, you both didn't enjoy the conversation. Just try again and say what y'all want to say. I'm confused. I'll talk to him as much as he wants. I don't mind. I'm polite in the conversation. I try to be. And I'll be polite in future conversations. I'm trying to be polite now. I'm trying to be mean. I just, like, if you want to get into, like, tax policy, like, for real, I mean, like, that's interesting to me. I like tax policy. Like, I'll talk. There was one guy ever. We disagreed on a lot, but I loved it because this guy was fucking, I don't know if he was past a CPA or whatever, but we did a lot of tax. I was like, oh, shit. I think there's a lot of interesting conversations to have around tax policy. My favorite idea, one of my favorite ideas that I felt like would be really good And I feel like it would align a lot of different interests. Like, here's an idea. I think that you should have to realize 1%, maybe we could play the number, 1 to 3% of your unrealized gains should have to be stepped up in basis every year. That would be easy to implement because you get a valuation of your, or at least like stocks and shit, right? So let's say, for instance, I invest $1 million. Let's say that next year my stock is worth $2 million, right? But I haven't sold it, so it's an unrealized gain. So I have $1 million of unrealized gains. You have to realize 1 to 3% of it, and then the basis is stepped up. So now my investment goes from $1 million to $1,030,000, and then that's my tax basis now, and then I pay income on capital gains of $30,000. That'd be an easy way to start collecting money from unrealized capital gains. I think that'd be an easy idea. There's tons of little like tax ideas like that I think would be good. I think that would even be a decent revenue earner. Maybe not significant. For significant, my two big ideas are: one, the progressive tax bracket is good. Taxes on the highest people and all that need to go up. But two, and this is a really mega unpopular one, but I think it would be this would be a huge revenue earner, and I think we should do it, like revenue-wise and morally. We need to expand the tax base in the United States. Bottom 50% of people should start paying federal income taxes. Not a lot, maybe for somebody earning $50,000 a year, or not, maybe somebody for earning like $32,000 a year, maybe their overall federal tax footprint or thumbprint or whatever, I don't know, would be like 2%. It'd be low, but where it stands right now, where the bottom 50% pay almost nothing, I think that the tax base should be broadened a bit, because when you broaden your tax base, you can earn a ton of money with very little bit of percentage paid by everybody. But like, these are, I don't know, you can talk tax policy if you want, but nobody wants to actually talk tax policy. They just want to attack, not this guy in particular, but like politicians are usually just on some wacky wild shit.
See at all, and a lot of the recommendations that she made within her policy would have been horrible for our economy.
Like, what? Name some. I want to hear some. I can name three. The three big. No. Sorry. Like, I feel like I could even be more specific in criticism, but maybe he will. Like, I don't think the tax buyer home credit thing is a good idea right now. I feel like it would have just inflated the market. Maybe if you targeted it to first-time home buyers, it'd be okay, which she might have said she wanted to do. Maybe. It'd still be pretty inflationary on the housing market. Maybe, though. I think she wanted to do a first-time business deduction. I think I like that, because it's probably, at the end of the day, it's not that effective. Like, not that many people are probably using it, but it, like, feels good. So, yeah, fuck it. Why not policy like that? And then the third one was, what was her third one? Oh, expanding the child tax credit. Probably good. But I like my demand side stimulus. But also widen your tax base too.
I mean, raising the corporate tax rate again, back up into the 30s, ending the tax.
Yeah, I already said this. So corporate taxes, I don't care about the corporate tax rate. Like, I'm not a fan of that. We talked about that for like 2 seconds because I think it's dumb.
Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that had tax cuts across the board for every income group, raising the cap on Social Security, which I've talked about in many of my other videos, and even super dumb suggestions like the unrealized capital gains tax for those with 100 million or more net worth is just going to destroy market liquidity, for example. And
I just don't understand. I'm sure he has a way to justify that. I don't know where he says an unrealized capital gains tax would destroy liquidity. I think there are a lot of criticisms you can make, but I feel like it would increase liquidity. Liquidity generally refers to how easy can you buy or sell a given thing at a predictable price point, right? So collector's items are generally very illiquid, meaning there's not a lot of people buying and selling it, and it's hard to know what the spread between asks and bids is very high, right? Like, what's a Mewtwo first edition card worth? I don't know. There were only like 2 sold last year, and one was sold for $5,000 and the other was sold for $10 million. Okay, well, fuck. One of the complaints, though, of unrealized capital gains is that it actually decreases market liquidity because people are not incentivized to trade their stock. So you would think that taxing unrealized gains would actually increase market liquidity because people would be buying and selling securities more. That would be my assumption, unless there's some other weird way that it would decrease liquidity, but I don't know. Destiny, wait, so you're saying every end of fiscal year you pay 1 to 3% of your gains, not your overall amount, even if you haven't realized them. How would that work with derivatives, non-liquid stocks, bonds? Like, if you just did it on shares, you would push people into other assets, and you would have to have carve-outs for some assets, because if you would, everyone selling at the end of the year at lower liquidity stocks would plummet every EOY. This wouldn't work in my opinion. You can make it work. Where there's a will, there's a way. I don't think I would fuck our whole tax system up because I'm worried about like derivative markets that losers are fucking gambling on anyway. Get fucked. But bring back specialized debates / interviews. We reach out to professors / people specialized in certain fields to research and talk about very specific things. I don't want to sound like a fucking asshole, but I will sound like an asshole because I don't give a fuck, and nobody's going to challenge me on this point because they're all fucking cowards anyways. Talking to super educated people is a waste of fucking time because we agree on everything anyway. There are no super educated people that disagree with me on any topic because I know everything about everything. Not really, but like it's unfortunately kind of close to that. Like if I bring on somebody who's like really well read into something, like I'm generally just parroting whatever the majority opinion is in the field anyway. So there's not much to generally talk about, unless it's like a field that I don't know anything at all about. But
many other things, even investment in companies and even startups to some degree. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. But I thought her tax policy was really bad. I think the Democrat Party in general has been really awful on immigration. And that's coming from someone who believes in a pathway to citizenship for some illegal immigrants. But they've been really bad on the border. It's been more porous than at any point in history under the Biden-Harris administration. They've become the party of censorship, weirdly, and they shouldn't have been.
Like the party of censorship? Seriously? Seriously? That's one of the critiques we're going to go with? Like, I just can't take that seriously.
Based on their history, but they have been. We saw that come out with the social media companies. A lot of that stuff was very damning to. Like,
how does this work? He says the stuff that came out with the social media companies. Now, I'm not trying to be critical, I am trying to be critical. I'm not trying to attack him, but he said he didn't know anything about any of the January 6th stuff. He didn't know anything about like any of the election stealing stuff. He didn't know anything about the Trump lawsuits right now that are one of the biggest attacks on freedom of speech we've ever seen in this country. But he knows about the social media company stuff. What? Where are our priorities here? What?
To the Biden administration and those who worked within it. And there's just been a lot of comments made by leaders high up in the Democrat Party that seem to be advocating for increased censorship and
like what?
Essentially First Amendment violations.
Well, like, how can you say this?
Which is obviously one of our most sacred rights. And then I think that the party as a whole just, in general, favors a bigger government now. And I think that that's one of the biggest problems America has, especially the executive branch, which has, over 2 million people that work in it now, all of which are unelected bureaucrats. And
like you're just criticizing. You're just criticizing the structure of our government. Do you not like the United States, the Constitution, and how it sets out the structure of our government? Like, I'm curious what the answer to that is. Like, the majority of people in Congress are unelected, right? Like, most staffers aren't elected people. Most of the people that work in the buildings and everything, like, these are not elected people, right? We elect the people to the House and the Senate, and that's it. And everybody else is an unelected bureaucrat. Like,
spend a lot of money and make a lot of rules that dictate our lives. And I generally think that should be smaller, not larger. And that more aligns with where the right in the country is right now. And I think that the Democrat Party as a whole has become super moralistic. And you saw a lot of that with what Kamala said during her campaign and while she was vice president. It's like either you believe these 554 maxims, or you're not one of us, and in fact you're racist or homophobic or bigoted or one of those types of things, where the Republican Party has become much more open doors and much more open ideologically in many ways, even welcoming pretty well-known people from the Democrat side, people like Tulsi Gabbard or people
like RFK. It's always those two.
Like Kennedy. And that's not even to mention Kamala's, I think, awful stance on late-term abortions, which I'm absolutely opposed to. She recommended federal buybacks of certain firearms, which I think would have been a disaster. And she co-sponsored the Green New Deal, actually, which
Had like 12 votes in the House.
I don't think was really actionable at all. And so because of that was not a good idea as it was proposed. So yeah, good conversation.
Feels like you're still having the same problems last year. You're still trying to have a cordial conversation while they ignore all problems with Trump and then say they debated you when they were back on their channel. Maybe, yeah. Bro. Dustin, do you have trouble taking Trumpists? Wait, don't call him a Trumpist. You make it sound like a Trump player. No, like a trumpet player. What do you call a trumpet player? A trumpetist? A trumpist? He's a trumpet. No, what? What am I thinking of? You just broke my brain. Do you have trouble taking Trumpists seriously about complicated topics? A trumpeteer. I don't think I've ever heard that word in my life, at least in band. That's a funny word, though. About complicated topics, foreign/tax policy, after saying things like, Trump is a champion of free speech despite all the evidence. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, does Scrub King link this in chat? I can't believe this is real. That's a great talking point. The fuck? In 2025, we have about 3 million federal employees. In 1945, we had about 3 million federal employees. Have we seriously had the same number of federal employees about? That's kind of crazy. What could they possibly be working on? I feel like it's one guy with a stripped screw, just like pushing the button on his electric screwdriver for like 6 hours. Are they adding floors to my building? You know what, Metaloid? I don't care. This is my most communist take. I don't know if this counts as communism or not. Or anarchy. All right? Destiny, the biggest reason companies IPO is that there's a base of shareholders who don't sell. If you started forcing people to sell their shares, I'm not talking about derivatives at all, companies that experience a gain will have to be sold to pay for said unrealized gains. Small companies have 20 to 100 million notional value traded a day at best. Companies will be obliterated every tax season. You know why? You know why? It's because those companies don't want to make profit. And you know what? We need to go back to the... You know what? I changed my mind. I'm the true capitalist. Companies, firms, should be about maximizing profits. Period. Not driving fucking revenue, okay? Revenue is AIDS. When you go to school, okay, and you're in your high school finance bullshit class, and you're like, oh, professor, right? Destiny, the dumb fuck, used to this. Professor, this company must be really good because it has a lot of revenue, right? And then the professor goes, actually... the revenue might be high, but if they're not making profits, it's actually unprofitable, right? And then the real world startup guy comes along. He's like, profit, motherfucker? We're not after profit. We're after user acquisition and maybe revenue. Maybe not even revenue. We're just after user acquisition. And when we get high enough, we sell to like one of 5 companies. That's cute, though, that you think anybody gives a fuck about actually being a profitable firm. So you know what? Fuck that. Fuck that model of firms. Fuck that model of startup bullshit, all right? If you've got a company that's worth $20 to $100 million, if you can't make money, then fuck you. Kill your business, okay? Sell your shit and go do something else. I don't like this business entrepreneur idea of I'm going to make a company to try to get enough users and then sell it to fucking Google or Amazon and fuck ever making a profit. That's why we already have too many computer programmers making too much money, getting paid in these dog shit companies. Dog shit, too much money. Get them out of here. Get them all out of here, all right? Get them all out of here. Make them make money. New rule, you can't sell your company unless you're turning at least a 5% profit for 4 years, all right? You're welcome. I just kamikaze the whole startup environment in San Francisco. Get obliviated, okay? Let me get a, hold on. What? What? I can't walk my own walking kitchen? Like what? Oh yeah, no, I don't believe those people are real. I think some dude started like a fucking meme. He was like, "Oh, bro, I'm so special. I have like the special cilantro gene." Oh, it's yogurt. Isn't yogurt like rotted shit anyway? If you're eating yogurt, you're already eating gross shit. So eat it. Fuck it. All right. Ugh. I don't believe that. You know how people are like, 20% of people can't eat cilantro because it tastes like soap. Bullshit. I don't believe them. That's a lie. Those people just want to feel special. They're like people who say they have gluten intolerances. Also, hold on. Brace yourselves, okay? I might be about to give a really unpopular take. Okay? I don't think women should vote. No, I'm just kidding. I'm having mixed feelings. I just finished season 2 of The Sopranos, okay? I feel like parts of that show are like the Wire tier. But then I feel like other parts of the show aren't quite up to that. One issue that I'm having is, and maybe it'll get better past season 2 even. What's this guy's name? James, whatever the fuck. Can I please? No. Galdafini. This guy, I feel like his acting he's just so good. He is just so, I don't want to say he's above or better than everybody else on the show, because I think the wife's performance is pretty good. I don't know the names. The capos, like the circle people around him, I think are generally pretty good. But Gandolfini, this guy's performance, the therapy girl is good. I can't tell sometimes if I like the writing or don't like the writing sometimes on the therapy sessions. She does okay, yeah. But this guy is just on another level. Holy fuck. He slays the fuck out of this role. It's unreal. Yeah. One thing I liked about The Wire is that The Wire is just very, very, very tight. Like, every episode matters. Every scene matters. Every actor kills it, in my opinion. I can't think of a bad actor in The Wire. They're very good at like sharing the spotlight. The Sopranos hasn't been bad though. I'm glad I'm watching it. I think we're probably starting season 3 tonight. What do you think about his performance in Lord of the Rings? Wait, what? Was he? Fuck you. Oh, Gandalf. Could you show us a floor plan of your apartment again? I seem to remember you doing that when you first moved in. Now that you've changed rooms and so much has changed, it'd be good to have a refresher. I'll get right on that for you. Oh, I bought a small tripod to put my ring light on my bookshelf, so I got rid of the stand behind me. My God, these efficiency gains. Musk came through and he cut the 2 stands. The $2,000 one? What? No, it was like a $50 one or $25 one. Fuck off. Have I watched Severance? No. Oh, we didn't even finish with this guy. Hold on.
With Destiny, the clips floating around are kind of trash because they're edited to be able to say something like Destiny owns a conservative or whatever. But it was an interesting conversation. I appreciate Destiny having me on his show, and yeah, hope you all have a great night.
I don't know what to do about the clips thing. I have thought about that a little bit because obviously the clips are edited to be pretty favorable to me, but and I'm glad I've got like a whole group of people that do that now. That's good, but it does kind of like shit on the person that comes on, which I guess wouldn't be a problem. Like I understand people are gonna make clips, like I'm used to it, but maybe everybody else isn't. I don't know what I should do for that. I don't know. Do you like Christoph Waltz from *Inglourious Bastards*? Wait, did I answer that? Yeah, he's like one of the sickest actors of all time. Maybe, I think he's really, really good. I'm pretty sure he is, but I don't know how much credit goes to him versus to Tarantino's writing, because Tarantino writes dialogue scenes just phenomenally. Although for some reason I hated The Hateful Eight. I don't know why I fucking hated that movie so much. Do you mean directing? Wait. No, I didn't. I meant writing. Who does the writing? Why did I just assume Tarantino? Maybe Tarantino doesn't do the writing for his own movies. Inglourious Bastards. He does do the writing? Okay. Written by Quentin. Yeah, okay, yeah. He wrote that part for Christoph Waltz. Oh God, all of his writing is so good. Does he do his own? Does he have an editor, or does somebody else do that? When you're a director, I imagine you have a huge. You probably have a big. You have a ton of input into the actual editing itself. You're probably in the editing room with the guy. You must be, right? You must be. Yeah, of course. Otherwise, what are you? Just a camera guy, basically? I mean, you're still setting up shots and everything. Okay. What does a DP do exactly? Director of photography? That's a different role than the director themselves, right? They do small shots. They make stuff look good. Have you seen Better Call Saul? No, not yet. What do cinematographers do? Is that a role? Some directors are the DP. It's a collaborative process of getting types of shots. Okay. What about cinematic engineers? Shut the fuck up. Came on watching Inglourious Bastards. Waltz clips. No, fuck off. That is a good movie, though. Most federal employees work at the Department of Veterans Affairs. Damn. Do people in the military don't count as employees or federal employee? Probably not, because if you're in the military, you're on a contract and you are not considered a federal employee. You're not a civilian employee. You're like a military person, right? A soldier? I don't know. Is that what you would say? Have you thought about making chat shorter during reactions and putting the video on top of the chat box, mirroring your cam? Leaves the right side free for obsidian/google/games. We don't need that. We don't need that much chat anyway. Putting the video on top of the chat box. And making the chat box shorter. I feel like the video would be too small then. Chat is pretty huge on screen. That is true. Ever since I made my camera larger, that is true. I feel like Hassan used to do his stream a certain way one time, and I was gonna bite it, but then I think
Weasley little here, dude. Holy shit, dude. Holy fucking shit, dude. Literally lying.
Jesus.
Oh, turns out they were actually doing some really significant stuff. Turns out they were actually working on some fairly important things. Oops, my bad.
What camera is he using? Does he ever say?
And then they just come back and they're
High
like,
quality.
Oh yeah, the juice.
and also spreading misinformation.
Tougher the more information you learn, I think.
I feel like at one point in time, Hassan used to do a thing where he would stream and he would he just said like fuck it, and he had his whole, he just like not minimized, I don't know what you would say, he resized the whole thing to basically be something like this. No, fuck. This. Did he ever do this, or am I hallucinating? But it was like, it was some kind of setup like this. And then there was stuff along the bottom and top, I think. And then now you have like the full monitor. No matter what's being talked about, you can literally see everything. But I don't know if you've got like a smaller monitor or 1080p or on mobile. I don't know how this would look. I don't think I ever experimented with this, but I thought Hassan used to stream like this, but then he stopped, so I'm assuming it didn't work. You spend way too much time bringing up stuff that they hadn't heard or facts you later have to refute. I feel like publishing your Obsidian and sending it to them ahead of the conversation at least allows you to call them out when they say they don't know anything. I mean, I don't know if I can give people homework for our conversations. I don't know if people would do that. The bottom quarter screen can be merch, scroll, AE schedule, upcoming, blah, blah, blah. I just don't know if I can. I think it's probably just better to do this on this. I can make the, could the chat be smaller? And then my camera stay the same size. I could probably make my camera a tad smaller. Since I'm streaming at 4K now, the clippers they still have a higher quality thing to borrow from. I don't know if I should fuck with that. Okay, hold on. What's his name? Okay. On my main overlay, can we reduce the chat size by like 40%? Question mark. One thing that I want to do, I need to do this before our next episode. I keep putting this off. Get rid of the logs blocking the screen. Oh, the border should probably be smaller. Oh. Okay, yeah, okay. It's in the works. My name is PewDiePie. Okay, I don't know why. If I was watching myself browse the internet, I would get triggered.
Right?
No, I
Right?
don't think so. Shut up!
The thing, I do think that
I wish there was like a way. If I were to do a slightly more cinematic broadcast from the cameras, like a little bit like this, I wish there was an easy way to have chat on the bottom in a wide format, but I don't think there's any way. There's no way to do that, is there? Like, imagine if your broadcast window, this is your full broadcast window, and then imagine like from here to here is your camera. Like, there's just no way to make, in English, there's just no way to have like a chat here that doesn't look fucking retarded because of the way we read and the lines have to scroll from bottom to top, right? VTubers do it. Do this, in my opinion. Japanese style, scrolling right to left, one message at a time. Yeah, nobody would be able to read that, motherfucker.
Project. The 18 to 24 month project. Wow. Okay. This is why Cub can stream for 7 hours and be fine. I hit the 2 hours.
What if the chat was both the bottom and top borders? Yes, you can. You have bubbles that appear and disappear instead of scroll. Just delete chat on screen. Nobody reads that and it makes your stream look cleaner. I agree with you, but most people hard disagree. When people are watching, the community aspect and seeing chat is a pretty big part, I think. Not I think, a lot of people have said that, so. Asmongold feels vindicated as Destiny. Oh, as Disney walks back on woke policy. Okay. Want to make a D&D style cookie cutout where your main screen is in the middle and all your other shit is on the side. Nothing will ever overlap. Well, that's what I think I might end up doing that for anything else. Because we need a better way to watch stuff here without it. Without the cameras ever cutting it off. And the cameras are too small here. What was the name of our campaign? D&D, Destiny, Mr. Moot and Nick. Tombs of Scoria? The aspect ratio is different though on this middle thing, so we wouldn't be able to watch YouTube. Or if we did, it would be cut off. Unless, but like the whole side here, no, it would still be kind of cut off a little bit. I mean, it's not impossible to do. What if chat bounces around like the card when you beat solitaire on Windows? The challenging is that all multimedia is designed for widescreen and not 1x1 format. True. But phones are the exact opposite. I feel like death, please watch. People ask why Dean doesn't go against Hassan, or why people won't backstab, or not backstab, but why morals is
Russia's prime minister.
People of the points, I guess. I'm going to rewatch a 14.5-minute video of my own stream content. Aim to find more for the. There's a good edit though. Post on Twitter. I'll retweet you. Okay. Not you, Destiny DG. Okay. Destiny, about chat in top/bottom bar. I was envisioning the chat box being split in between the top and bottom. Starts at the bottom, scrolls up, and continues above center image. But I imagine that would be a bitch and or impossible to do. No, that'd be easy to do probably. You would just have to. But the issue is that it wouldn't be readable. Like that actually be arbitrarily easy, right? You could just create like 2 chats, and then you would just cut one in half here. And then you would just cut the other one to match here. And then you just like put one down here. And then one up here. But I don't think people could follow messages going from like from one to the other. I don't think you'd be able to follow it. It'd be too weird. Put one chat perfectly in between the lines of the other. Holy shit. Oh, information density. That's what we need. Hell yes. Okay, hold on. Next one. Wait, what is this video? Why do we have Hassan up?
I think in the world.
Oh, just for his stream layout. Hassan doesn't use like, he doesn't have an overlay or any kind of border stuff at all. He just goes from scene to scene. Oh, he got those Joe Rogan arms for his microphones. These are supposed to be really nice. I think they're like $300 or $400 each though. The new, whatever these are, Elgato arms, the hydraulic ones, these are really good too though.
His rationale as he explained it on social media. He said,
his camera takes up quite a bit. Is his camera bigger or larger than mine? I wonder. Hold on. Sorry, hold on. Wait. Oh, his camera is quite a bit larger than mine. Wait, but did he used to have chat on the side, didn't he? Did he change that recently?
I did this.
It's because too many of them are terrorists, or? Oh no, wait, he does have them. Oh, but he just has an open. Oh, he's doing what I'm doing. Never mind, I see. He's got it like he just has the window open over here and then chat's over here. I see.
As an accommodation and out of respect for President Sheinbaum. Our relationship has been a very good one, and we are working hard together. He goes on to say to stop undocumented immigrants and fentanyl.
His background is better though, so his can be bigger. What? What? You should have a news scroll at the bottom, and only people who pay you $100 can have their chat there. True.
Then he also is using this to
Does he have a plugin when he's doing like full screen video to make Twitter videos not go full screen? No, he's just doing like theater mode here and stuff, I guess. Okay. Nico chat solution. You keep linking this picture and I have no idea what I'm looking at. Oh, you guys don't know what I'm looking at right now, sorry. I don't know what you're communicating here. I don't know what this is. This is still, it looks like it's still top to bottom. I don't know what this is. I don't know what you're expecting me to get from this. Is there a reason the chat is above your head and not below you? I don't know. I just feel like we're used to seeing the camera in the bottom corner of the screen. I could put it in the top left, but... Chat messages fly into the screen from right to left. Oh. If only there was a format that allowed us to show picture, like in a rapid succession. Bring back dono voices. Listen, you got dono alerts. Okay, the guy pops up. I don't know if I can handle voices. It interrupts my train of thought way too much. It triggers the fuck out of me. Don't care about this. Oh wait, you said they're streaming right now. Hold on.
夹克风格的设计真的惊艳住了。GG 战队第2套冠军时装爆料，整体设计。
Is this an ad that I'm waiting for to finish? Oh no, it's not. Never mind. Or it doesn't matter if it is. I see. This is the scrolling text thing. I wonder how hard it would be to implement this. And would it be dog shit? If is this like a trivial to create thing, or would this be like a huge project? I imagine this is probably trivial. It's probably already done. You can just copy paste it from somewhere. One thing I wonder, I imagine that there is a value for speed here on how fast. Oh, I wouldn't be able to do this. This would be a whole ass thing. I wouldn't be able to do that in the broadcast. Wait, what the fuck is this technology? The fuck? Is the text a separate element? Damn. Okay. This is, never mind. This is way more sophisticated than I thought it was. I thought this was embedded in the video. Well, but regardless. Damn, what year are we living in that they have this tech and we don't? What the fuck? It would be interesting to have this style text scrolling, but whatever the value is set for speed, if when there's like more messages, the value increases. So like if chat's like all lulling or spamming or whatever, like it's going very fast versus not as fast. However, one thing I worry about is that because of the style of conversation, that also what I'm thinking of right now, this is just for anything else. This wouldn't be for my ordinary stream. If people are typing longer messages though, this doesn't work. Or does it? I don't know. How long is this message? Like, do people try to read this? I don't know. Okay. All right. Oh boy, good luck.
Understand that. So everybody just has to walk their own path. And like I've always said, I really want kids. I just want to not have kids a little bit more. But I don't expect that to be a popular take. And when people ask what I think other people should do, meaning and purpose, the surest way to get meaning and purpose is to align with the evolutionarily placed algorithms in your brain. And those are going to be to fall in love, have sex, make babies, raise babies. Like that's just the default path. And so deviate from the default path. You can do it, but you need to be very thoughtful about compensating for what the leverage that evolution will use to make sure that you do it, which is meaning and purpose. And so if you don't have meaning and purpose, you are going to curl up in a fetal position.
Where's my volume?
Over the fact that you didn't have kids. And so Lisa and I are very thoughtful about, okay, we've chosen to step around something that evolution wants us to do. So we better have meaning and purpose, because that will be the pain lever it pulls for us not doing it. And if we have not addressed that, we're going to be in real emotional trouble. So.
All right, now let's cue up this Destiny clip.
Let's do it.
My man Eric, we're about to play it soon. So for context, yesterday on Destiny stream, he reacted to
Was I mean? I wasn't mean, right? Please tell me I wasn't mean. I wasn't super mean, was I? Please tell me I wasn't super mean. Tom's never mean to me. And make sure these clips get back to him. I appreciate Tom. Tom's one of the few people I've been able to get like good business advice from ever. Like one of 2 people I know ever. You called him a retard? No! I wouldn't even say that because I don't think he's retarded, which is one of the reasons why it's so frustrating talking to him sometimes. Like, he's a smart dude. I think he is.
With Tom, you guys covered tariffs, inflation, and this was right around the election. So this is when Trump and Harris were neck to neck, and we didn't know who was going to win. So just for context, how.
And I have legitimately not seen.
So this is a live reaction of Tom being reacted to.
We will
live.
see.
Oh, it's 3:13, like
Okay,
50,
I lied on my stream.
50
Fuck this
seconds,
chair,
so we can scroll a little bit over.
Or not 6:13?
No, you were right. 6:13 to the 50-second. You're at the 12-second.
So, legal.
So you can just let it play.
There it
I
is.
want to watch. I want to watch this Gavin Newsom thing.
Shut up.
How am I involved with Gavin Newsom?
A full embrace to do with this show. A full embrace of the truth, an acknowledgement that even when I bang on the table and say I know this and I understand this and everybody should listen, people should merely take it as a data point that allows them to build a more cohesive worldview. As
Play
they
it at
understand
1x, please.
No, Destiny played it.
Oh, he's playing it.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
sorry. My
Got
bad.
it.
Don't have all the right answers. I don't want anybody to treat me like I have all the right answers. Everybody needs to think for themselves. No one is coming to save us. We want to map the world as it actually is.
Okay.
Only thing to talk about is
What is this? This
Okay,
age
this is
poorly.
him clicking around.
Yeah.
inflation. The second you print money, you are fucking.
What do you think tariffs would do?
Tariffs would cause tons of inflation. You have to map me. So my thing on tariffs is that most of it's posturing, that he's going to do it selectively, and if he doesn't, and he really does it across everything, he's a fucking moron.
But he's already done tariffs. Why would not say he wouldn't do more?
But he did tariffs reasonably well.
So he didn't, though, right? Just increase the cost of goods in the United States. We didn't actually bring
sometimes
anything.
where you want to do that. So take the chips, for instance. If we're really trying to onshore things, or take things that are weapons manufacturing, anything that's in that chain, even if it's slightly more expensive for us to do it domestically, we need to do it because I think, and nobody.
For people asking about their audio setup, I think they're capturing the audio that's just coming out of speakers into a microphone. They don't have the actual audio routed into the stream. That's why you're hearing it sound kind of hollowy. But
I do not want to be a dictator, very much because I think I'm very fallible. But it is odds are that we're moving towards conflict with China. The last thing I want are my artillery shells or bullets or whatever to be hamstrung by their ability to produce.
Which I think that's fair, and I think that there are national security arguments you can use for tariffs. Trump very rarely makes these. He usually makes economic arguments for it. But what you're talking about, they would say, you say, we'll probably pay a little bit more for this, but it's probably worth it for national security implications. And I could agree with some of that, for sure. Yeah.
ooh, I don't think I even put this on that video that they're watching right now, but my argument is even more prescient there because I don't believe Trump has spoken about national security arguments almost at all with the current tariffs, right? I don't think I've heard that at all. I think all of the arguments right now are economic, with Trump saying that they've been taking advantage of us. We're suckers to these guys. They're making us suckers. We're suckers, you know? So there are no national security arguments right now. It's literally just the econ ones.
That's not an across the board tariff. I agree. So, okay, one more time. Okay, sure. Let's clear though. We're saying that Kamala is suggesting the tax on unrealized gains, which I'll bet you here now, we bet, $5,000, $10,000 will never happen because it's such a stupid policy. All forms of wealth tax, financial transaction tax, unrealized gain taxes are untenable for a billion different reasons. Yep. Okay. So I know it won't happen.
So I have not, I don't remember the rest of the conversation that we had, but that's going to go something like, well, when she puts forward absurd policy, it's just never going to happen. When Trump puts forward absurd policy, well, you have to actually take that seriously. So,
hold on. Sorry. Wait. Hold on. It's okay. I'm powering up. Sorry. I was in my unpowered form, so I just incurred a lot of damage there that I wasn't ready for. Okay. I think I even justified in our conversation. What I say is that Democrats govern by law generally, and they're responsive to their constituents and they're responsive to other lawmakers, right? So if Kamala comes in and she were to say, I want to do a wealth tax, guys, I think that her secretaries would look at her. I think that donors and lobbyists would look at her. I think that other people that are politically involved would look at her and go, listen, Kamala, it's great, honey, that you ran on that, but this policy would probably destroy the fucking economy. So we're not doing this. There's no realistic way to implement this. Most countries that try to don't like it. It's just, we're not doing this. And then she would have to go, oh, okay. Because Democrats are more receptive to feedback from the people around them, because they're trying to govern actually, so like with legislation in Congress, I think that there are more brakes on crazy shit. One might call them guardrails, Kamala Harris. Or I'm sorry, what Ben Shapiro said about would protect us from Trump, right? Guardrails. With Donald Trump, because Donald Trump doesn't try to govern effectively, he just does things through executive order, and because Donald Trump doesn't care what people around him are saying, it only matters as long as it's popular in his fan base. Donald Trump doesn't have constituents, he has fans, right? Donald Trump will do crazy things unilaterally, and he doesn't give a fuck if people around him are telling him it's a bad idea. That's the difference. I think I made it clear, even in that conversation that we had like 6 months ago or whatever. I think I made it clear then, and I've made it clear abundantly over and over again. And now it's a little bit cheap, I guess, for me to use this argument now, if I haven't in the past, but I have in the past, because this is exactly what's happened, right? I think Biden, I'm trying to think if Biden had 15-hour minimum wage as part of his platform. I know Hillary did. Hillary eventually got pushed there, by probably in large part, at least by Bernie or Bernie's fans. So Hillary got pushed there. I think Biden was in favor of a bigger minimum wage, but it didn't happen because he didn't have the support in Congress for it. He couldn't govern that into existence. Donald Trump doesn't need to govern. He just needs to have a Sharpie for his next executive order.
So remember, this was recorded. I had no idea what Trump was actually going to do with his tariffs. And I kept saying in the interview, if he does an across-the-board tariff, that's dumb. So anyway, keep playing.
Okay, even if she might have flirted with it, I don't know how she's talking about it now. But so we're saying that she will do that. We're genuinely concerned about that. But we're not genuinely concerned about Trump doing the only economic policy that he's given, that he's basically running on, that he's shown indications of and has done a little bit in the past.
Because, one, I've seen what 4 years under Trump looks like.
It was bad for everything that you care about. It was horrible. He spent like crazy, printed money like crazy.
Oh, he did. On that, they're both...
I don't understand how people are so resistant. They'll say the things... It's not just this guy, by the way, because it was the guy that I talked to last time, and the guy before, Richard, and the law TikTok guy, where they'll say, like, I care about this thing. And I was like, okay, wait, hold on. You said that you care about this thing, right? The guy is like, my favorite person in all of human history is O.J. Simpson. Okay, hold on, let's go back. What are the things you care the most about again? I hate people that play sports, and I value the lives of white women more than anything else in the world. Okay, wait. Hold on. And I'm racist. Wait, hold on. Wait. Okay, well, wait. I feel like wasn't he like a football player though? Okay, maybe. Wait. Okay. What about like the whole like murder thing? Sure. Okay, maybe. Past performance is not an indicator of future behavior. Okay, and then also, isn't he black? It's like, that means a lot of things. It's like, okay, wait. So, and then the comparison is like to like Bill Gates or some like white nerd unathletic. It's like, okay, make this make sense for me, because every single thing that you're saying, this person represents the exact opposite.
Okay, pause it.
Looks like.
It was bad.
Okay, make this make sense. Here is, you have two opposing worldviews. So he is looking at me as somebody who is on a team, and that I'm saying Trump can do no wrong. And
no, he's falling into the trap. He's projecting what he's doing right now. No, don't do this, Tom. You're better than this. I'm not accusing you of being on a team. I literally just pointed out, here are the issues that you care about, and the person that you're supporting is bad on these issues, worse than the opposition. Make that make sense. I'm not accusing you of being on a team. I don't think Tom is on a team. That's why I know that I wouldn't accuse Tom of being on a team, because I don't think that Tom's on a team. But in that conversation, Tom said, the thing I care about the most, more than anything else, he either says it before or after, the thing I care about more than anything else is the deficit and borrowing money. And it's like, okay, well, in that case, you must not be voting for Trump, because Trump came in at a time of economic prosperity, and he ran up the deficit greater than any president in the history of all the United States of America. So on that one issue alone, then you must not be in favor of Donald Trump, right? Even if you don't like Democrat positions on like tax policy, higher taxes might be a thing you don't like, but higher taxes means lower deficit. So you must be in favor of that if the deficit truly is the most important thing to you. So that I'm not doing a team analysis here at all. I'm just doing an issues analysis, just the issue, just those issues. I'm pointing out policies.
And that I'm saying Trump can do no wrong. And because he said, like, this is your favorite person in the world. obviously just making an example. Trump is not my favorite person in the world.
No, I'm not saying, no, that wasn't what the analogy meant. Is he going to say Trump's not a football player? I'm just saying it would be crazy for somebody to say, this is my favorite person in the world, but also I hate football players, and I hate people that endanger the lives of white women, and I hate black people. Then it's like, wait, hold on, how can that be your favorite person in the world then when all three of these things? I'm not saying that Trump is your favorite person in the world. I'm just using that as an example of like you like a person for some role, but all the traits that they possess seem to be contrary to the traits you're looking for. It wasn't about, I don't think Trump is your favorite person in the world. No.
I was sad that Trump was the only option that I considered reasonable. He was not the person that I want. I did not want to be choosing between Kamala Harris and Trump. Also, with the why was I, quote unquote, giving Trump a pass on the money printing? I'm not. And so I've got two governments, both of whom money print like fucking crazy. So those just cancel.
Republicans do it more. The last budget surplus we had was under Clinton. The hugest hit that we've taken recently to our budget has been the Trump Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. The only piece of legislation Trump did massively burdened the fuck out of us fiscally. It was the only legislative accomplishment, really, the only big one that he had. And it fucked our deficit so hard.
Each other out. So the money printing, I'm not going to be like, yeah, you got to disqualify Trump on money printing so that I go to the other money printer. I'm saying if I had a choice between one government that was like, dude, we understand. We are driving towards a fiscal cliff. We have got to back off from that. This government will never money print. There is no way. We are focused on innovation. I'd be like, fuck yes. Like, I want to go to that team. But they both print like psychopaths. So it's just that those two cancel each other out. So if you want to, like, if I'm having to go back to his...
Can't we just look at the history of governance and see how they treat the deficit? See how they treat the budget?
Example, if I'm having to choose between two people that murdered people, I'm like, fuck. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to make the decision based on that. So there's that one.
Why did the surplus happen? Are you suddenly pro spending cuts now? Stop being bad faith. Why did the surplus happen? The surplus happened under Clinton. Why? I don't remember. That was before I was a real human being. Are you suddenly pro spending cuts now? Not necessarily, but if you want to make spending cuts, you can. But I'm pro revenue raising. So, but I've said as much a million times.
I think the thing that he's trying to point out is that, to Destiny's point, he did say that across the board tariffs were bad. And you're like, yeah, if he does across the board tariffs, that'll be like fucking crazy. And Trump is doing across the board tariffs right now.
Right.
So
do you hear me going, oh my God, these are amazing. I'm so glad he's doing across the board tariffs.
Yes.
Wait, what do you mean yes?
No.
You hear me?
He's saying yes, he agrees with you.
You saying that?
Okay. I heard that you're not saying, yes, tariffs are great. I love tariffs. Let's do more tariffs.
I said, literally, if he does it across the board tariffs, that would be fucking stupid. And? Do you hear me championing them now? Or do you hear me being very consistent with that? Because my hypothesis remains that you're going to put yourself in a position where you are now playing chicken. Now, admittedly, I don't know how it will play out. And the more I look into tariffs...
No, he's not changing he don't say it. No, it's all roads, all the roads. Every sign falls away and all roads lead to Rome. No, he's not about to say it. I'm making a dramatic assumption for literally no reason. I'm making a dramatic assumption for no reason. He's going to say the more I look into it, the more I'm realizing it is a really bad thing. But also, he's already done the tariffs, but it's not even bad that he's done the tariffs. He's like, I'm waiting to see how this plays out. How long? He already did them.
Put yourself in a position where you are now playing chicken. Now, admittedly, I don't know how it will play out. And the more I look into tariffs, the more I'm like, okay, it has one outcome, which is it will onshore manufacturing.
No. We just have to have a business talk. Because Tom, this is also a thing. Tom knows. Tom absolutely knows what comparative advantage is. I know from personal conversations, not in those economic words, but like if I were to go to Tom and say, Tom, I need business advice. I'm really, really, really good at streaming. I'm so bad at like managing my at my email and my finances. Okay, help me get better at managing my email and my finances. Tom would say, Why are you wasting your time on your email and your finances? If you're really good at streaming, pay somebody to do that shit. Why the fuck would you waste your fucking time doing something you're not that good at? It's not even making that much money for you. You can make way more money. Just stream more. Pay somebody else to do it. I'm like, oh shit, Tom. Good idea. You're right. United States of America. Hi. We have highly productive labor. We're really good at like last stage of assembly on products, and we lead the world in tech and AI. That is true, but do you guys like manufacture widgets? Well, no, but we just like buy the widgets from somewhere else. Fuck that. Why the fuck would we hold on? Have you thought about cutting back on your most productive work and pulling back on retarded shit like tech and AI and getting back into manufacturing widgets? Maybe? Wouldn't that be kind of cool if you made your own widgets? No, actually, it doesn't sound cool at all. It actually sounds like it would be a major step back in our economy. Why the fuck would we ever do that? He knows this. He knows this intuitively when it comes to business. I just don't know why he just doesn't apply it to the country. Somebody noticed that, Destiny, I think you're thinking about this too hard. Whenever people say they care about the deficit and vote Trump, what they mean is they don't want the government to spend on stuff. They don't care about how it makes money. Maybe.
Which we need to do, but it will also piss off your trade partners. And if you're doing them as far as I can tell, as I think Trump is driven largely by two things. The desire to onshore, he is right about that. It is.
No, where is he getting his? I just have to find out. Maybe if I ask Tom and I get the answer to this, maybe I'll figure out where all these guys are getting their econ advice from. And then I can just go to the source and start shitting on that person. You see, you've had to say, and that is very important. That's very true and very important. We need to onshore all of our supply chains again.
The more I research about that, the more I'm like, holy fuck.
No.
We have got to onshore some of our manufacturing.
No, but you really don't.
And then the other is...
No, you really don't, right? If you were to go to the economies of the world that do baseline, like base level manufacturing, and then compare them to the more abstract economies, what do you think is doing better? All of the more abstracted economies are doing so much better. They're doing so much better. You don't want to be like those other. You don't want to be North Korea. You don't want to be a resource extraction and widget manufacturing economy.
This like super weird, petty, like, it's got to be fair. It's got to be fair. Now, I haven't looked at it enough to know if we should be worried about like one for one. We probably shouldn't. So it's like,
what is he saying? It's got to be fair. It's got to be fair. Is he talking about? Hold on.
Is this like super weird, petty, like, it's got to be fair. It's got to be fair. Now, I haven't looked at it enough to know if we should be worried about like one for one.
He knows this too. He knows this. I know that Tom knows this. It's got to be fair. It is important to be fair, or at least to have the perception of being fair to your allies and trading partners, because relationships are everything. I don't know if I've made fun of this statement or I've said that people say it. There's a good degree of truth to it, so I hope I made fun of it. That idea of like, your network is your net worth, right? It's important for people to have the impression, at least, that you treat them fair and that you'll do right by them. Otherwise, nobody's going to want to do business with you. That type of shit is incredibly important. He's talking about Trump? Oh, never mind. When you're saying he's talking about Trump, I thought you meant criticism of Trump. But he's saying when Trump is saying, our trade has to be fair trade, that's what he's criticizing. Okay, never mind. I understand more what you're saying. I got it.
Weird, petty, like, it's got to be fair. It's got to be fair. Now, I haven't looked at it enough to know if we should be worried about like one for one. We probably shouldn't. So...
I see Metal Sword's link. I see it. Metal. He didn't read a 41-page paper from Trump's economic advisor. There's some influencer. There's some dude that is talking about this shit all day long. Nobody. I love you. I love you, and I appreciate it.
It's like that one is.
Okay. Whatever you hear. Nobody read this. Okay. Maybe somebody on Trump's team read this. Nobody else read this. Tom did not read this whole fucking paper. Okay. I promise. There's some other influencer YouTuber, some guy that talks about this shit. That's what I'm curious where it's coming from. Tom did not read this whole paper. I promise you he did not. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably so. It's like that one is. Yeah, it's probably a bad idea, and the way that he's doing it is putting us in this super weird fucking position where now we are.
I don't like all these words. When I hear this a lot, I'm trying to point this out more and more when I hear it. Okay, I don't want to call it a weasel word like it's intentional, but it's the thing that if we were to talk about DEI, okay, DEI is destroying this country. Okay, it's retaliatory, it's vicious, it's destructive. It's this force that's just tearing apart it's turning us against each other, it's making us hate each other, right? What do you think about Trump's stuff that he's done?
And the way that he's doing it?
Well, for Trump's stuff, I would say
is putting us in this super weird fucking position.
Puts us in a super weird fucking position.
Where now we are racing towards catastrophe.
Racing towards catastrophe? That's a bit more extreme, sure.
Probably shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. And then
if we should be worried about like one for one, we probably shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like so much hedging, and the language around what Trump is doing is so much more gentle. It's so much gentler, the language around what Trump is doing, even though it's like a trillion times in actuality worse, right? It's so much worse. The difference in language is so telling for some of the underlying thoughts about it. Not telling and underlying thoughts, not that they're being malicious, but that it's pretty obvious you don't think it's as big of a deal, even though it is. They're all saying the quiet part, not knowing the loud part. Think about what Russia manufactures, anti yet pro-military complex misinfo.
It's like that one is, yeah, it's probably a bad idea. And the way that he's doing it is putting us in this super weird fucking position where now we are racing towards catastrophe in terms of if he is not able to onshore enough jobs fast enough, if he is not able to get other countries and
dog, our unemployment is at like 5%. What are we onshore? Who's working these jobs? Our unemployment is low, and we're about to deport, in Trump's ideal world, 15 million low-skill workers who are exactly the types of people you would need, by the way, for these jobs. What are you onshoring? Who's working these jobs? Who's going to be doing this? What are you talking about? Yeah, and then someone in chat said it. Remember how ass-mad these guys got about a theoretical, hyper-work-brained, unrealized capital gains tax, and then when Trump literally pushes the start a recession button, they're like, yeah, I guess it's kind of bad.
Companies to invest in America large enough, fast enough.
And then also keep in mind as well that like all of this is starting over nothing. Nothing is happening. At the very least, I won't grant it to Trumples anymore, by the way. If somebody would have asked me about COVID, I would say, oh, if Hillary Clinton was elected, the COVID catastrophe would have never happened, by the way. And if they asked me to prove it, I'll say, okay, prove that Trump wouldn't have let Russia invade Ukraine. Thought so. Suck my dick, motherfucker. Not to Tom. I'm not saying that to Tom. But like Trump had at least an excuse kind of for the last year of his administration, because who knows how another president honestly would have handled COVID. It's possible people would have made the same or worse missteps. You know, we don't know that. However, this time Trump is causing catastrophes all on his own. He inherited like one of the strongest economies from the G7, from the OECD. America, for the most part, we rebounded from COVID, crushed everybody else, crushing it in the world. We're withdrawn from most bullshit conflict now, I would say. Not in Yemen, not in Syria, not in Afghanistan anymore. He kicked the can down the road on the extraction for that, and he managed to skirt by that. Nobody even questions where that Afghanistan withdrawal came from. And now all we have an exploding economy, okay? I mean that in a good way. We have two big foreign policy issues. One is Israel and the Gaza Strip, although that's mostly done. And most old people love Israel, so you don't have to think about that much. Now you have Ukraine, Russia. That's your one big area that has a lot of volatility right now. Could be really bad, could be really good. We don't know. And then all you have to do is like shore up some of the issues that we have at home now, domestically, right? How do we deal with inflation? Is there a way that we can bring down housing prices? For the most part, you've been set up really well for success, okay? You can come and give all these bullshit speeches about how you're onshoring chip manufacturing, even though most of that is probably because of the CHIPS Act from Biden. You can talk some shit about how you're reinvesting in infrastructure and improving that, even though that was because of the infrastructure bill and the investments made in the Inflation Reduction Act into green energy and stuff. Like, you can take credit for so much. You're set up for so much success. This is the easiest handoff in the fucking world. All you have to do is not fuck it up. And then what does he do? He comes in and he fucks up everything for no fucking reason. For no fucking reason. For no reason. Even if Trump manages, or the US economy manages to come out, okay, this is the worst thing, is that, this isn't mapping on anything, but like, it doesn't have to look like this for it to be bad. It could be that a world where we do this is actually bad because Biden had set it up for, if you just continue the same shit, it would have looked like this. Like, what the fuck are we doing? All you have to do was Bill Clinton your way through it and do nothing. Just fuck off and do nothing. Or just like manage your economy, manage some domestic issues, and you're good. Why did you link this? You're fucking retarded. If you link something, you misquoted. You're getting banned for, you're getting a 1 week ban on this. You linked this and you said, actually, most people hate Israel now. And then you linked something that shows that support for Israel is at a low, which isn't actually that surprising. But it's still, the sympathies for the Israelis are still 13 points higher than the Palestinians. And I'm willing to bet that if you broke this out by age cohort, the older you get, the higher this number goes, which is where your voters are at, which is the most important thing. But
planning on doing. And I mean, to Scott's point, he's feeling emboldened. He believes that he has a mandate and he wants to do it immediately. What would the impact of doing all of these things be if it is done as he wants it to be done right away?
It would be terrible. I mean, all of the things that are his priorities, whether it's global tariffs, deporting 10 to 20 million people, politicizing the Fed, devaluing the dollar, all of
every time this guy's face appears on the screen, I think these guys always have to appear as a couple. Like, it always has to be her and him together. Or maybe they're both always on the show, actually. I don't know. I like how the camera guy cues up. It's like, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. We know that this guy is about to give the most dog shit fucking take you've ever heard in your life. Okay, after she just, like, speaks plain facts. Okay, here we go. Don't worry. And he's even, like, got his Finkel smirk ready. He's like, ha, yeah, wait for this one. I'm about to make this motherfucker kill themselves. I'm about to say the most retarded shit you've ever heard in your life. Here we go. Here we go. You do know they are married? Are these two married? No shot.
of those things would be inflationary and or cause the economy to crash. I think the very best thing Trump could do is nothing at all. You know, go out, play golf.
True! Holy shit, true. This is what I mean. This is why I said I don't talk to experts, because why would I waste my time? Because we're just going to be agreeing with each other the whole fucking time. Do you understand? You understand what I'm saying?
Take credit for the economic trends that we already have.
Yes!
That are already quite strong. Wages have been outpacing inflation for over a year, for example. Inflation has come down a lot. GDP growth has been robust quarter after quarter. Just take credit. Take credit for the economy he inherited.
For the CHIPS Act, for the infrastructure bill, for the IRA. Take credit for all of it and just like fucking try your best to like fix some domestic problems. That's it. You're good.
And do nothing else. And that's the best possible outcome we can hope for.
Oh, thank God. He actually watched this 2 months ago. I might have already watched it, so. Don't give a fuck.
Other countries and companies to invest in America large enough, fast enough, it will have been an enough jobs fast enough. If he is not able to onshore enough jobs fast enough, if he is not able to get other countries and companies to invest in America large enough, fast enough, it will have been an unmitigated disaster.
Why? I just want to ask, because these people have so much respect for Elon Musk. Why did Elon Musk come to the United States of America? Did Elon Musk come here because we excel at resource extraction or because we make the best widgets? Elon Musk didn't go to, I don't even know which fucking primitive economies excel the most in these things. He came to the United States because we have educated workers, because we thrive in technology, and last stage of assembly on complicated, there's a better word for this economically. I don't know what it's called when you're that last stage in the supply chain, highest value added part of the supply chain, whatever. He came to the United States of America. If you respect Elon Musk, why wouldn't you respect his business decisions there? And what was Elon Musk saying when he came to the United States of America? Did Elon Musk come to the US and say, boy, we need to tariff everybody else. Boy, I sure do wish you guys mined more coal. Boy, I sure do wish you guys had more onshore resource extraction and widget manufacture. Like,
but what I don't understand is how people think that I'm thinking through the problem in any way other than I know where I'm trying to end up. I need to be in a strong position to protect myself from a hot war with China, which people may want to pretend is not a possibility. That shit is a very real possibility.
That's another thing, though, where you've destroyed. That can't possibly be what you care about. You want to be ready for a hot war with China? Okay. Well, what is Trump doing to prepare for that war? We're showing the world weakness in that we're not willing to defend Ukraine. Now, maybe he doesn't care about Taiwan, so okay, fine. We're ditching NATO. Trump has said some of the most disgusting things that could ever be said about NATO. When Trump said, I don't think any other country would come to our aid, when the United States is the only country to have triggered Article 5, when there might still be Ukrainian bodies left in Iraq today, unrecovered. Like, the idea that we're strengthening our position against China by alienating not only NATO, not only our European allies, but also our North American allies, Canada and Mexico. Imagine, now I don't know how this would look geopolitically, like if it would be possible for Mexico or Canada to do this. And I feel like there's so much else at play that would make this impossible. So my idea here is like fantastic. But like imagine a China that comes in to a struggling Canadian and Mexican economy as the US is like trying to batter and bully both economies with tariffs. Imagine a China that comes in and says, hey, you remember things like the TPP and all these other trade arrangements and deals? We should set some good shit up. You're fucked. You've lost at that point. You've actually lost. It's game over. The war or whatever doesn't even matter at that point. If China could capture Mexico and Canada, two countries that China already trades, at least with Canada, a great deal with, right? And already has like a lot of FDI, foreign direct investment and everything else, right? What are you going to do at that point? You've isolated yourself. This is why isolationism also is not a great idea. You've isolated yourself from the world. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's not helping anything. None of this is helping anything.
Onshore gets us there.
Onshoring, dude, onshoring the most important elements of our modern life, from modern warfare, which is going to be drones and semiconductors, which guess what China controls? Rare earth minerals.
Guess who's collecting probably the most combat experience in the world right now? With drones! I'm not a military expert by any means, but it wouldn't surprise me if every single military commander in the fucking world was like pouring through footage, reports, whatever the fuck information they can collect from the ongoing battles in Ukraine, because it's probably highly indicative of what future battles could look like in a world where drone warfare is so easy to do, where soldiers can be killed. So what did we listen to this on stream where somebody said, was it like 70% of the soldiers killed had been killed by drones so far? That can't be true, right? That number is insanely high. Did we listen to that on stream? Like every single thing. Oh yeah, somebody said something like 70% of battleground deaths in Ukraine are now drones. Oh, maybe like over the last year or something. Like, also it is important. Like, real life is more similar to RPGs than it seems. It's not just about having the right equipment. Having soldiers that have experience and having commanders that have experience. I don't know anything about military doctrine or any of that bullshit, but I do know that's incredibly important. Having people with real combat experience, having a military that's fought real battles before, and being able to organize around all of these different people with experience is arguably one of the most important things. This is why people, cringe at all the training exercises we do and the NATO training and the US training, but that's why you do. You have to be up to date on that. That's why Russia fell apart so hard when it came to invading Ukraine, because they didn't have the supplies to do that. They don't do as much training as they should. They don't have the necessary upkeep. That stuff is so important. But I mean, like, if you want to be excelling in these battles, Ukraine is the battlefield of tomorrow.
For batteries and shit like that, guess what China controls? So it's like we are in this super weakened position, and I understand that we have to get an outcome that brings that stuff home. Is across the board tariffs going to do it? As far as I can tell, across the board tariffs put you in a very precarious position. And so I do not love that this is his strategy. So
just listen to that. Now, I don't know if Tom's talked as much about DEI, so I don't want to describe this position, but if I were to ask somebody about DEI, if we implemented countrywide DEI, what would happen? The country would be destroyed tomorrow. What if we were to tariff 25% every ally we have in the world? Well, we'd be in quite a precarious position. What?
Will they end up coming to fruition? And let's remember, this is halftime. We don't know where this is going to go yet.
It's already going. It's already going. It's already going.
But dude, I'm watching the way that he's doing this, and I'm like, if I were advising you, I would not be advising you to do this.
And he's already pulled back a lot of these tariffs. The auto tariffs got pulled back.
Canada, thank God, and I hope you guys hold strong. I think Canada has already responded saying they're not undoing their tariffs until they've gotten a long-term commitment from the United States that the United States is going to stop acting like it has schizophrenia, and that needs to be the case. There have to be guarantees. Security guarantees. There has to be a guarantee from the United States saying, like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. We're done. We learned our lesson. We're done. Okay, no more wacky tariffs. We're good. No, they said they were pulling back yesterday. Wait, did Canada say they were pulling back on all their tariffs yesterday? Did they? Yes, we aren't getting rid of any of ours until all of the American tariffs are gone for good. Oh, wait, we got contradicting things in chat. Canada, tariffs. Not all. I didn't say all. Oh, okay.
Just also pulled back some more from Canada and Mexico because he was violating the trade agreement that you and Edward talked about, which I'm very
his own trade agreement.
Very excited about that interview to drop.
His own trade agreement.
But here's the thing: you were about to go down a path where you were going to grab me by the lapel and slap me around. And I want you to give me your best argument. And I want you to know, Drew, your employment is not in any way. Okay, this is going to be fodder for the audience. But your employment is not contingent, hold on. Let me finish. And then you can tell people whatever you believe, which they will assume you're lying because you're next to your boss. But
bro, if I had a boss tell me this on air, no matter what you say right now, your employment will not be contingent, blah, blah, I'm like, okay, cool. I would steal every dollar I could the next day from that job. I'd steal everything. You're going to fire me after saying that on air, motherfucker? Try it. Just kidding. Don't do that.
Your employment, as I hope you know into your soul, is not contingent on you echoing back the things I already believe.
Yes.
Your employment is contingent on you being thoughtful, for sure. This is my show, and if you were here being an asshole, that would be a problem. But help me see something I don't see. So I will, and I hope you know, and I certainly hope the audience knows, I will give you my best, most voracious argument as a way to test whether or not my argument holds water, because I want to see if you're still like, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And you've got to look at it from this angle, which will only make me more able to predict the outcome of my behaviors, which will make me able to be in the stock market better and make more fucking money. So even if you just trust me to be selfish, I just want to know, like, what actually works. Because my self-esteem is not based around being right. My self-esteem is based around identifying the right answer faster than the next person and making that something real in my life that leads me to the places that I want to go, which include getting even wealthier, which include building the biggest video game of all time. So just trusting me to be selfish. If you understand what I build my self-esteem around, you will understand why. I'm like, yeah. The guy saying the bad things, go back to him. I want to hear what the bad things are. So give it to me. I want to know, like, what do you think I'm being blind to? Where am I?
That's the thing, though. I spend time with you, so I understand how you make decisions. So that's why I see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a lot of times when we're playing the politics game, they want you to come on here and say, Trump did tariffs, he's fucked up. And as soon as they hear this, they're like, yay, Tom gets it again. So it's not necessarily you have a take wrong or you are blind to something. It's they want you to disagree as feverishly as they disagree so that when you can be on there.
This is true. I agree with this guy, but I'm not like that. There are a lot of people who just want to hear you say, just say Trump. That is true. I agree with him. He's right. But I'm not like that. I feel like I've earned my spot enough to say that I'm not like that. And I should be given the credit that I'm not like that, but
fucking nonsensical.
But it's emotional. Looking for emotional response.
Drew.
Was he trying to say that Destiny is emotional in this?
You are blind to something. They want you to disagree as feverishly as they disagree
or
so that
something.
you can be on there.
It's fucking nonsensical.
But it's emotional.
Oh no, he's saying that's that. Okay.
Looking for emotional response.
Drew, and we may remain a small channel until the end of time because I'm that is the game, and that unless I can give people that, they are not going to be interested. I get it. Entertainment is a drug that people take because they want to feel a certain way. And if I'm not able to make people feel the way they want to feel, this show will stall. Understood. I steer by the following observation. All that matters is how you feel about yourself when you're by yourself. And so I have to say the things that I believe to be true. Because I have maybe erroneously built a value system inside of myself that says every word out of my fucking mouth has to be true, and it has to lead to making other people's lives better. And that's where I'm like, if people will argue with me at the level of value system, then, now we can have, because people always want to argue at the level of belief. My beliefs? What the fuck?
But that's the thing. It's a headline argument. So, okay, first argument. Trump is a fascist. Trump is a Nazi. You shouldn't like Trump because he's divisive. We can play the...
Very different statements.
But...
the divisive part, I care not about. Well, that's not quite true. I wish he could bring people together. That would be super powerful. I am far more drawn to characters that can bring people together, for sure.
I feel like this is hitting too close to his own lived experience for business stuff now. He has to believe that, right? You have to be able to bring people together. It's an incredibly important aspect of a CEO or a business leader at all. People have to enjoy working for you. It's incredibly important. Hold on. It's important to show leadership competence. One second. What because I don't know how many people are aware of this or not. I'm pretty sure Tom started. If you guys have ever gone to like a gym or a store even, and you've seen like the Quest, is it QWEST? The Quest cookies, like the all that nutrition stuff. I think he like started that business and took it from 1 employee to like 1,000 in like 3 or 4 years. Oh, is it just Quest spelled normally? So he's got like he's got very solid business experience. That's him. Yes, I think he's the founder or co-founder. I think didn't he have 50% when he sold that business? It was huge. Yeah. So he has to know this. You just that myth of like the strong CEO or leader who treats all of his employees like shit, like he's House MD or Whiplash, like this just doesn't typically work that way. People don't usually like working for people like that.
I am far more drawn to characters that can bring people together, for sure. But if Trump, this is why, and somebody said in the comments, well, Tom, Trump was saying that he wanted to run for a 3rd term before. Why are you acting surprised now? And the reason is, honestly, when he said it earlier, I was always like, I don't like that. But I thought he was being funny. Then he started going for Greenland, Panama Canal, Canada, and talking about running for a 3rd term. I was like, oh God, this is somebody revealing exactly like this little thing inside of them. And I think Trump has imperialistic impulses.
And all of these things were not as important as taxing.
In terms of people hating Tom or feeling this way about him based on everything he's saying, like I think Tom has major errors in empirics, like how he's actually looking at real events and then rating them or something maybe. But I don't think that he's like a mask on, fucking hates wokeism and is going to support Trump to the ends of the earth. I just think he has issues like accurately assessing the magnitude of certain actions or something like that. But just, he's savable. That's what I'm saying.
And all of these things were not as important as taxing unrealized gains to you.
So that was a good question.
They were not visible to me at the time, but if you reheld the election today, I would still vote for Trump.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay, but why?
So, but that doesn't mean that is me choosing between two bad options. That is not me saying, oh, there's somebody perfect. But also, by the way, we're talking about all the things that I don't like. There are also a lot of things that I do like.
Like what? Oh, and then also the sources of information and stuff. And again, all the tech bros have this weird libertarian flavor to them. I don't know why. If it's just part of growing up as like a computer nerd or whatever. I mean, I was a libertarian in my early part of my life, but I don't know.
About what Trump is doing. And so, yeah, if the nice, succinct way to put it is, I'm growing increasingly skeptical that Trump will be able to get a positive outcome. And at the same time today, given those same two choices over, I would make the same decision still, for sure.
Because you didn't have faith in who Kamala was as a presidential candidate because
I think the entire Democratic Party has a value system that will run us into the ground. It will become increasingly authoritarian. It will be economically nonsensical.
Like increasingly authoritarian, really? Like I would just love to hear, let's run through some situations and find equivalents on the other side.
Would have clamped down on AI. We would continue to be at China's mercy from a manufacturing standpoint. They want to control the narrative, which is why they all speak with one unified voice. They are...
I'm so sorry. Hold on, I need to do a tweet real quick. There, I retweeted your shit.
Want to be at China's mercy from a manufacturing standpoint. They want to control China's mercy. Economically nonsensical, become increasingly authoritarian. Okay. It will be economically nonsensical. They would have clamped down on AI. We would continue to be at China's mercy from a manufacturing standpoint. They want to
clamped down on AI because we want to regulate crypto at least a little bit. Like, how do we feel about our current crypto environment where now you have world leaders and countries scamming people? Is that what we like? Are we in a good crypto environment right now?
Control the narrative, which
if we wanted China to take over, why would Biden pass the CHIPS Act, the infrastructure, the IRA, things that are giving us huge investments into catching up in our green energy investments? Because whether you think green energy is gay or not, like the rest of the world is going to be moving to things like solar and wind, because especially fucking solar has gotten so fucking cheap. Or if you are Or the CHIPS Act to bring back, like chip manufacturing to the United States, which was working way better than the fucking random tariffs Trump had.
Which is why they all speak with one unified voice. They are anti-First Amendment. Like those things are so much more dangerous than the things that I see coming out of Trump's camp. Because here's what I think is going to happen.
Like, I think that the media bubble is pretty important as well. Like, I don't think he's consumed any of the media, or the one unified voice as well. Seriously. I just don't think he's consumed any media to even know what's happening on the other side here.
The thing about Trump that scares me the most is not that he'll make an economic mistake. The economy is extremely difficult.
Like an economic mistake. That's what we call 25. That's not just an economic mistake, by the way. It's an economic mistake and it's a geopolitical mistake. It's damaging. It's a national security mistake. Like all of these mistakes are bad through like 5 different huge dimensions.
It does scare me, and you will continue to hear me make noises if I think Trump is misstepping. But the thing that I worry most about with him is Bonapartism. And the Bonapartism, I think, will get checked at the midterms. So it takes a literal act of Congress to amend the Constitution. So I think the Constitution will protect us. But I'm not going to lie and say that it isn't becoming self-evident that Trump has an imperialist impulse. From the rhetoric around Gaza, I mean, it's just like that's undeniable. So again, I will seem crazy if people think I'm on a team. I am not on a team. I have an end state that I'm trying to reach. I voted for the person that I thought would get us there. That person remains, though by a decreasing margin, the person that I think is actually most likely to get us there. If he continues to do shit that causes problems, right now, the short-term effect on the economy is horrendous. On the stock market, I should be more clear. The short-term impact on the stock market is ugly. And so now it becomes a question, is it a short-term blip, as these often are, or is he legitimately going to run us aground? Don't know. We're going to see that play out. But all the people that look at me or anybody else and they keep trying to take it back to
teams. No one is putting on a team,
and he voted for the wrong person, and he's now just trying to defend him. I am unable to pierce your frame of reference because that is a nonsensical way to interpret the words that I'm saying. There's no way they could repeat my stance back to me in a way that I would recognize. There's no way, because I have said over and over and over exactly how I process data. I can go point by point and explain exactly how I'm processing data. And then people are trying to cram that into their team-based worldview. And this will happen in marriages. This will happen when working with teammates in a company. You're literally saying one thing, but it deflects off their worldview that they are projecting onto you. And so I will say to my wife routinely, if I meant what you would have meant when I said those words, I get why you're upset. But since I didn't mean that, we have to go with what did I actually mean? And so then you break it down and you say, okay, this is what I mean. I can say it to you in a single sentence that's less than 35 words. Tell me my position back to me in a way that I say, yes, you understand my position. If then she's like, I understand your position, but I disagree with it, cool. Now we're having an argument at the level of values and beliefs. We are not having an argument at the level of two ships passing in the night, where if you said the words I said, they would mean something different than when I say them. And if, by the way, if chat is slapping me around, they have something that they think
I'm literally scrolling through it so I can catch everything.
Give it to me.
And again, we had these conversations off camera plenty of times. We had these conversations on camera with our guests. We had a whole election week special where we interviewed 2 Republicans, a Democrat. Like, we went down the rigmarole of it. So I see how you come to these decisions. So again, emphatically, I'm not just yes manning. It's just I understand it. I get your point of view. We voted for 2 different people. We came from it from 2 different angles. I am not mad at that. I don't get that. But we came from it from 2 different angles. I am not mad at that. I don't get that. But I think in the increasingly tribal world, everybody is trying to make you pick a side. But there is one thing. There is one thing that what would it have to take for you to say I regret voting for Trump?
What would have to happen?
Yeah.
If he hollows out the middle class even more, if he puts us on a...
What does that mean? If he hollows out the middle class even more? Do we even, what a weird, like, do we even know what, I don't know, because I'm being dumb. I don't even know, like, what do we consider, like, the middle class? That's, in and of it, that's already kind of like a loose, like, what actually is, like, what defines the middle class? But
a weakened stage with China.
We've already
the thing
done
I
that.
care the most about, China is scary, but the thing I care most about is thriving lower and middle class. Again, you need only trust me to be selfish. As a wealthy person, you sell things to, at least the things that I make, are sold to the middle class. So it's like, I need them to be thriving.
Yeah.
Even if you don't think I care about people, which I fucking do, even if I'm just being a greedy capitalist, you cannot function as a society if you don't have a thriving middle class. It's fucking crazy. I'm also not a pull the ladder up behind me guy. So I came from middle. There's an argument to be made. I came from lower middle class, and becoming successful has been one of the great thrills of my life because it did not feel like it was an outcropping of innate talents that I had. It feels like it was an outcropping of learning a way of thinking that I was not taught as a kid and going, oh my God, this works so much better than what I was taught as a kid. Holy shit. Like, you can teach other people to do this. Fuck. And now, long before anybody knows who I am, privately in my companies, there are no cameras on me. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. I'm just a guy building a company. And I'm like, I will show up early. I will stay late. This is to drug dealers, gang members. I will show up early. I will stay late. I will teach you anything, including building a competitive company to mine, because I want you to understand how powerful these ideas are. And I can see you've been trapped by what at that time I realized was an ideas problem. This is not a money problem. You guys can, if you can adopt these ideas, they will change your life.
What are the KPIs then? So you say hollow out the middle class. I love that term, but it's a generic term. Like, are you saying the middle class will decline, the inflation rate will drop below this rate, you want to see average earnings increase? What does it mean to have a bolstering middle class?
Love that. Okay, so there are a few key metrics you want to look at. Right now, what you have is more people than ever are becoming wealthy. Okay, yay, right? No, because more people than ever are becoming poor. And so what you see is
more people than ever. He means in the United States, I'm saying, right? I think.
Where you're going to have these two wildly stratified contingents. Now, the problem lies with the Gini coefficient. And you can't live in that world. So the wealthy will try to distance themselves physically, intellectually, every which way possible from the poor. And the poor will always be the far larger group, and they will come to kill the rich. So again, just from a perspective of self-preservation, that sounds fucking terrible. So one of the metrics that we're going to look at is the middle class getting bigger? So are people going from poor to middle class? Like, that is a fucking key. You want to see that happening like crazy. And then mine is one of the core things has got to be that the poor and middle class can just save their money to success. Not gamble, not bet on the stock market. If they want to do that, it's amazing. And I hope that they do, because owning assets is very powerful, even when your money's not being inflated. But you have to understand it. It is a complicated game where you can lose your money as fast as you make your money. So I want everybody to have the ability to do it. I don't want anybody to be forced to do it. So those two are massively important and can be measured just on a financial scale. There will be more, but those are the easiest to talk about that are just, they're going to be naked in the data.
And then last one, just from...
How can you take people, like, seriously, he just rambles like a dipshit, and when he's pushing on anything, he just goes... I mean, like, his thoughts are good here in terms of... His broad thoughts are fine. It's just the individual... issues, like the empirical data that he's collected, the media bubble, I guess. Do you read how the pipe/fluid mechanics changed? It's way simpler now. Wait, what changed?
Poor to middle class, you want to see upward mobility, so... Is that... Again, what is the... How do you define going from poor to middle class? Because I think
it'll be a question of earnings, real earnings per household.
Copy. Household.
So he was asked for a specific line that could indicate success for you. He didn't give anything. It sounds like he's given quite a few specifics, way more than I would expect from almost anybody. What do you mean? Gini coefficient, what does that measure? Economic inequality. It sounds like that's one thing he's talking about. People moving up through quintiles of wealth. It sounds like something he's talking about. Or moving up through, I don't know what the exact metric you measure, but
real earnings per household.
Copy. Household earnings increasing.
Yeah, but real. Like, you have to understand the difference between nominal, where it's like, yeah, number go up, but it only go up because of inflation. Real is like you're actually outstripping inflation.
So household earnings adjusted for inflation increasing.
Yes.
Caps have infinite throughput.
All right. Let's talk Gavin Newsom.
Did we finish with does he have a kill shot? Does Destiny have a kill shot?
I think that was it.
Okay.
But could we play a little bit more? I feel like after he rants and then he switches to something else.
You need pumps? How can you tell when you need a pump?
For everything that you care about, it was horrible. He spent like crazy, printed money like crazy. Oh, he did. On that, they're both. But he did that in a time of economic prosperity. Prosperity. Yeah. So why would we ever expect him to buckle down? He won't. But then he's just going to keep spending.
Correct. Remember, if you try to map me as somebody who's going to back for Trump, you're always going to be confused.
Okay.
If you go, whoa, this is weird. Thomas, even though Trump has all this scary shit, like what the fuck, he's still more scared of Kamala Harris? How is that possible? That becomes, if somebody's trying to map my mind, if they keep going to Tom loves Trump, that isn't true. No one has ever heard me go to bat and be like, oh my God, he's a man, I'm so excited.
Did I ask him, wait, why was he so scared of Kamala? Did we ask that? So inflation and money printing, you don't actually care about that then?
Money printing and inflation I care about so deeply. If I thought Kamala Harris would do less of it, I'd be voting for Kamala Harris.
But the fact that Donald Trump was willing to have the largest deficits in U.S. history in times of economic prosperity, and the fact that he tried to pressure the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates low, and he said he'll do it again, all of these things lead to inflation and more money in circulation.
Absolute insanity.
But you think the Democrats will do it worse, even though they haven't talked about pressuring the Fed to keep rates low, they haven't talked about...
Which one will be worse, I won't even say. As I look at them both, I just say the way that they think about the government is very different. So you've got Trump on one side, who is bringing in...
Dude, my breathing on this, whatever the frequencies they're picking up here sounds... like I'm getting murdered.
Elon Musk, trying to get more efficient, very open to reducing...
So Elon Musk survives on government subsidies and contracts. It's important to keep in mind, right?
Okay, why does that matter?
I'm so curious to hear what he says about that.
Okay, it's okay.
Man, I wanted to hear his take on that. Okay, well, so here's my thing. I think Destiny is dope. Even if he wears a shirt that says Tom is a retard, like, I still think he is I'm so glad that he is in the public sphere. Somebody was saying, I think it was a Charlie Kirk interview with Gavin Newsom, which, man, do I love. I am very impressed with Gavin Newsom. A sentence I never thought I would say as a Californian.
Wow.
But the fact that he brought Charlie Kirk in, I was very impressed.
That's exactly where I was going. It worked. Gavin Newsom saw that podcasts were big. He says, I'm going to start a podcast and let me go sit with the other side.
Yeah.
And he's flip-flopping on positions. Everything he said, everything he was 10 toes down 6 months ago. Now, oh yeah, I never felt that way. Oh, I feel completely different.
I would like you to press the James Burnham button. That is so self-evident. So now you at least have somebody that's good at what he does. This is why people call Gavin Newsom slippery. He's got enough charisma, enough good looks that he can pull it off. He can do it. So anyway, the thing that I'm impressed with is that he sat down with Charlie Kirk. Like, he was willing to go 10 toes down with Charlie Kirk, who is a formidable foe for anybody on the left. I am impressed. And I now understand how Newsom has gotten where he's gotten. But I brought that up for a reason. Oh, I lost it.
I have a clip. Can we play that clip I sent you? The Gavin Newsom clip?
Here, while they finish this,
oh, wait. Sorry.
I came back?
Yeah, because I was trying to wrap up the Destiny thing. So I think it was in that interview that Newsom asked Charlie, is anybody on the left doing it? And they were like, nobody. And I was like, what do you mean? Destiny's doing it. And Destiny's very good. That kid is a debater extraordinaire. Also, I've had private conversations with him. He is lovely. Look, I get it. Destiny can be very theatrical. I don't know what word you'd want to use. He says he's always making a decision between whether he's going to be, I don't want to mischaracterize, but unhinged. I don't know. Like, he's got what I'll call an unhinged mode, right? The guy deserved to get shot and for showing up at the rally. Not a big fan of the unhinged side. But nonetheless, he is very capable of just being a hard-nosed debater who is very thoughtful about the issues, extremely well-researched. So again, even if he renamed his show Tom is a Retard, I would still go listen to find out, like, what can he remove any of my blind spots? So yeah, for people that want to know a very thoughtful argument from the left, like, that's the play. I don't like Destiny. He can fall back, says Jordash. Fair, man. Look, everybody's going to have their opinion, but I think he's sharp.
Hold on. I'm going to send you this clip, Eric, because people are trying to dunk on me in the comments, and I actually do research, guys. So, please, let's
see what happens here.
Let's do this. Play the second one.
Guns out.
Yes. Y'all watch YouTube.
What are they trying to dunk on you for?
And think your political analysis. Come on. Okay, come on. Let's.
Shots getting fired. What happened? I missed something.
We're gonna react to this together, Tom.
All right, let's see.
I'm excited. Let me curate this.
But you got to tell me, what are they saying in chat?
Okay, so right now, I just said that Gavin Newsom was flip flopping, and then somebody said, is he flip flopping, or is that just a characterization of him you saw on Fox? And I was like, oh, okay, so let's play this clip where Gavin Newsom is saying no in women's sports when he just signed a bill 6 months ago that said schools are allowed to transition kids without telling their parents. But now you don't want. But now your new line is they can't play sports though, but they can transition and not tell their parents. It's slippery Gavin.
Let's see. Let's see what chat
And I'm
has to
not
say
like an
about it.
anti-trans person, but I'm just directly showing you he wrote a bill 6 months ago that is directly not agreeable with what is at odds with what he's saying right now in this clip. Can we play this clip, please, Eric?
Now should come out and be.
Okay, are we done? He glazed you? I didn't miss it. I turned my speakers on. I am doing everything. Okay. What do we got next?